Hey folks, welcome back to AWS On Air live at London Summit. My name is Adrian San Miguel. I am a partner enterprise architect here at AWS, joined by my homie,
Ah,
AM.
wow. Hey, I'm AM Grabelny. I'm a developer advocate here at AWS on the game day team. You all saw me playing some game day earlier. Excited to be back with some new friends here. We're going to be talking all about some LLMs, all about generative AI. Everybody loves talking about that. Well, let's start with introductions. Will you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, my name is Chaitra Mathur. I'm a specialist SA, and I work with customers on generative AI,
All right.
whether it is generative AI operations, observability, setting up a platform, and a gateway that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we're getting into that. Nick, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, world, and hello, mum. My name is Nick McCarthy. I am a senior specialist SA, now based out of New York. My specialty area is generative AI GenAI model customization. But it's been great to return to my hometown, London.
There you go.
Spend time with my friends and family.
Love
Pleasure
it.
to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So let's get your screen pulled up. We're going to talk through as we're showing because people love to see what we talk about. So let's get that screen pulled up because we're going to be talking about this generative AI gateway. You know, I think first question I've got right out of the bat here is, you know, why are we building a gateway? Like, what is the problem here that people are looking to solve with this gateway?
Yeah, so we have this idea of a generative AI platform that enterprises are building.
Yeah.
And one of the things that developers ask for is, I want to be able to experiment with different models, and not just Bedrock, but let's say you want to experiment with SageMaker and other models. And how do you give this unified API to all of these models with low lift,
Yeah.
and developers are able to experiment? And then it also adds this central governance for accessing these models.
Oh, interesting. The governance piece, I think we'll talk about that, I hope. Because that's massively, especially you mentioned enterprise. Governance can be important to a lot of enterprises, I imagine. All right, so walk me through the whole idea is what? I have a gateway sitting in front of several models that I can choose from?
Yes. So people may have heard different terms, LLM gateway, LLM proxy, generative AI gateway, AI gateway. It all refers to this, which actually gives access to several models, right? And this is the solution our AWS solutions team has developed.
Okay.
And it is based on Light LLM. It's an open source proxy. And we have just containerized it and deployed it on AWS. And what this does is you can configure different models, whether it's on AWS, other providers, other platforms, and this gives this seamless integration and access to those models.
Okay. So we've got this gateway then that sits in front, right? And that kind of gives you a unified way of like sending prompts to the LLMs so that you don't have to learn the individual APIs that each LLM
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll show it later in a demo, but as you can see on the left-hand side, there might be a different set of teams, in this case tenants or clients, that are all wanting to invoke different models for different
Right.
use cases at different times. But they will all go through this centralized gateway that has the same governance, and you can see a web application firewall there to help with getting out any bad requests, as it were. But all of it spun up in a single AWS account, a centralized account that has the correct networking, and in this case deployed on Amazon EC2 cluster.
Yeah, you can deploy it on ECS, EKS. There are several options this solution gives.
Oh, great.
It follows OpenAI specification,
Okay.
which is OpenAPI specification based, and you can invoke even Bedrock models with that. Now, Light LLM gives all of that functionality at its core. What we have done is we have built a wrapper around it, and you can invoke Bedrock models using Converse APIs as well.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
this is pretty awesome. You mentioned different teams may potentially be using different models, different ways to interact with them. Some may run fast and loose, some may have very strict governance policies, but by putting this in place, we're trying to cut that off at the pass to say, this is the exact standard we're going to use. This is the way that we're going to be. This is the standard. Is that about accurate?
Yeah, yeah, that's accurate. And I'll show you a demonstration. There are two parts to this. One
Okay.
is what we call control plane in
Okay.
AWS terms, right? You want to be able to administer this, add tenants and add models. And then the other part is the APIs themselves, right?
Okay.
Invoking the APIs.
So I see we're looking at a GitHub repo. If I'm sitting in chat right now and I'm curious about trying this out myself, I believe we're about to go see the UI where I can interact with this. But if I want to go deploy this right now, can I come to this repo? What
Yep.
am I going to run to deploy it?
Yeah.
Just some
Yeah.
So
Terraform
this-
commands?
Exactly. I was going to say it might have this at the bottom of the README, but at the moment the infrastructure as code deployment method is Terraform. Yeah.
Okay.
With the team is actively developing on this. We're taking in any customer requests, building this out continuously, and CDK, for example, is on the roadmap later this year.
Nice.
But exactly, it would be a Terraform apply, Terraform deploy to deploy this into your account.
Cool.
And of course, you'd then be able to go to the AWS console to check out all the various components, as well as go into Light LLM and have a UI dashboard that has centralized governance and observability there.
Beautiful. So once I've got it deployed, what does it look like when I interact with it? That's what
Yeah,
you're about to show us, right?
Yes. So I told you that okay. So there are two parts to it, as I said. One is the administrative side of things, and this is what it looks like. And if people are familiar with Light LLM, you will know this, you would have seen this. This is just a Light LLM dashboard that our solution exposes. Now, the real meat is when you are going to this, as an administrator of this solution, you go here and you are onboarding tenants, right? This is a central gateway that is there, and the teams are coming to you and saying, I want to be onboarded. So here is where you can set up a team. Let's say I just set up an HR team yesterday, and you're saying, okay, your team, come get onboarded. They're vended an API key, and everything from then on is tracked through that API key, right? So first you create a team here, then you go here. Oh, okay.
Got
Classic.
logged out. Yeah.
Just while Chaitra's logging back in, an important feature of this that I wanted to highlight is that, given that an aspect of it is that there's a Bedrock wrapper around some of the invocations we make to Bedrock, Bedrock Guardrails are applied to every call that's made here. And I mean, there's a number of important features that exist within Bedrock Guardrails. For those that don't know, we use automated reasoning checks to help prevent factual errors that might occur from hallucinations. We also have content safeguards, both for image and text modalities. And even for RAG use cases, retrieval augmented generation, we filter out around 75% of hallucinated responses.
Wow.
So that's all sort of baked into the solution. But back to you, Chaitra, with the demo. If you're
Yeah, you're logged back in. Let's take a look.
So we created teams, and then you come here, create a key, and this key is an API key that starts to track everything. Everything by what I mean is you start to be able to track costs and do cost attribution across these teams. You can give access to specific models based on this. So everything happens by that key. And you're able to do a lot of different things. You can check usage. You can come here and set up, what kind of model access should the solution give to all of the teams, and then be able to come here and look at logs. So this is an administrative function. A super user comes here and adds the teams and vents the keys and all of that. And once that's done, you take those keys and you invoke APIs, which is our second part of the demo, and we'll show it.
Okay, so
Now-
this is where that governance piece comes into play. Yeah, this is where you can see what the people are doing that you've given access to use this.
Yeah, and you don't have to think of it as a central gateway for the entire organization, right? There are many different ways to deploy this. You can deploy it for a team, you can deploy it for a business unit. So there are different ways to use this. But the advantage of getting it on AWS is all of the scale and reliability and all of the Bedrock features that we can, put around this Light LLM, right? It's a really good wrapper that has been built, and being able to use the infrastructure's capabilities. I think that's the real value of this. Now, going to the actual demo.
Okay.
So here is a Streamlit app that Nick put together.
As they used to say on Blue, or do say on Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. I wanted to say that on air for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a few Python scripts that we put together that were just initially invoking both an open API spec, but also a Bedrock runtime spec, which again was just this wrapper around Bedrock to invoke a Bedrock model. But we brought it into a Streamlit app that you can see here, relatively rudimentary. Already pre-filled on the left-hand side, we've got an API key that we need to work with OpenAI. You can see that. So if you want to hit set API key, Chaitra. And actually, whilst we're waiting, if we could interact with the audience and get some potential prompts.
You know what? That's a really great segue for us, Nick. Thank you. We know a lot of you might be joining us now from the UK. I believe we are live up on the, how do we call it, the Hero?
Yes, the UK Hero slot.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. Where you been? We've been streaming all day live from the AWS Summit here in London. Can you believe it? This American accent sitting up here, streaming from the London Summit. But yes, we are here. We're taking your questions. We're talking with you in chat. I got chat pulled up. I'm waiting to hear from you. But I love Nick's suggestion down there. We are, well, I don't know what model we're actually conversing with yet. Do we know which model we're talking to? Okay.
We have different options.
All right.
And we have Meta's Llama, Anthropic Claude. So we could choose any of it.
Okay.
I think
Maybe
the idea is to
chat can
get a
pick
prompt.
one, maybe, or chat can put in the prompt. I think it's a little riskier to have chat come up with a prompt sometimes. Chat needs to behave itself.
We
Did
we
get
do
one?
have one in chat.
Let's chuck them in there.
Yeah, Tier 4 says, "What can I learn at the AWS London Summit?"
Okay, that's a safe one.
It
Thank
is
you,
safe.
chat.
Do you want to make sure the base URL is set as well, just before?
To be fair, I know who Tier 4 is.
Do you?
I do. But I won't dox them. I won't
Oh.
dox them. I do know them.
That's very sweet of you, by the way.
Yeah.
AI thinking. Hopefully the demo gods are with
thinking.
us today.
There are so many sessions it has to think.
Yeah, you never
And give
know.
a good
I mean, there's a lot to learn, right?
Yes,
It might come back with what is AWS
Ooh.
London Summit.
that's nice.
There we go. That looks really nice.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. And it's formatted.
Yes.
I'm seeing in chat too, we've got a poll for you all. How many different LLM providers is your org using? Let us know in the poll. All right. So I think reading through this, which would you pick as your favorite?
Huh. Of course, artificial intelligence
Number
and
3.
machine
Oh,
learning.
what a
Big up AI
surprise. Okay.
All day long.
You know, for once I thought it'll suggest generative AI, generative AI, generative AI, but
No, there's more. There's more too.
Yeah.
Adrian, do you have a favorite? Can you read that?
Number 4, I can read, I promise. Number
Well,
14.
I don't believe that, but okay. 14,
14.
networking.
Networking. The hallway track is always where it's at for me. It's always the engaging of other SMEs, talking with folks that may have similar type of questions to you. For me, that is one of the best values of summits.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going serverless computing. We just had our friend Gunnar Grosch here on, so he would be mad at me if I didn't pick it. Let's switch models. Let's see how easy it is to ask the same question to a different model.
Yep.
Should we use the Bedrock runtime?
yeah.
Okay.
Different model.
Yes. Let me just clear the conversation.
Okay.
Set. Should we try Meta?
Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Same question?
Yeah, same question. Let's see how we can pick. This is probably what people are doing, right? With this gateway, is they're evaluating
yes.
the performance of each model for their use cases, which ours obviously is telling people what they can learn at the London Summit.
Okay, very
Very similar.
similar.
Okay.
Still,
Wait,
Number
they've
3.
combined it. This is better for me. Number 6, they've combined containerization and serverless computing. I was torn on which to pick, but now I don't have to. So I like this model better.
okay.
Mine stayed the same, just a different number shuffle.
See,
All
so
right.
useful for you guys also.
Yeah.
Gateway.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We are right at a minute left or so.
Okay.
Tell me
one
what
last
you
thing.
want to finish up with.
Yes. So OpenAI and Bedrock runtime, right?
Yes.
Everything goes by OpenAI specification, but the wrapper we have built, you can also switch to the Bedrock runtime and directly use Converse API and call Bedrock. So that is the advantage of this, which you won't get in light LLM. So that's the
Great.
value of this solution as well.
Okay.
To close, I think we are very eager to learn what others are doing. So, contact us on LinkedIn. We definitely want to know if this is useful and what other alternates are, everybody using.
I assume people can open issues on that Git repo that you shared as
can.
well,
Yeah.
requesting new things.
We're also helping customers deploy it into their accounts. With the team are going to start running workshops. But yeah, we're always interested in customer signals. And myself and Chaitra and our team are actively involved in helping build out GenAI platforms worldwide. So,
Chaitra, Nick, thank you both for joining us. Unfortunately, we got to run, but you are staying right here because we have more. So stay here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.